My Corona today on the Music Universe podcast.
Oh, jeez.
I have been waiting for somebody to make that joke.
I'm
all
sure
month.
it's there. I just haven't heard it yet. I am sure it's there.
Just like all the Corona bullshit. Corona beers.
And not the beer, right? Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. The beers, all the memes.
Yeah. This is
Oh, my
insane,
goodness.
dude. This is just stupid. Just stupid. You know it's just a media thing, right?
Well, no, it is. Dr. Oz had an interesting number. Now, I don't know if this is right or not because Dr. Oz, but he said you'll pass the common flu if you get it to about 9 people. Okay? You can pass the flu to 9 people. This coronavirus, one person can infect 45 people.
Oh, jeez.
And the death rate is about 10% higher when the numbers all shake out than the flu. I understand wanting to be cautious, but I have a friend on Facebook and who is by no means a conservative or calling this media hype, post an article that's like, wait a minute, we're doing the wrong thing here. We're containing people, not the virus. In an effort to contain the virus, we're doing population control of the current population. I'm not talking like, the one-child rule in China. I mean,
right.
Control of the population's movements, rather on a scale that's never been seen before.
No, it's ridiculous.
As opposed to actually mitigating the virus in the hopes that this will mitigate the virus. Now, I'm very close to a lot of doctors, and they say, no, we're actually doing the right thing. So, and I work in the media, and I don't know what to believe. I genuinely don't know what to believe. I know I'm going to Florida in 2 weeks, and I know I'll probably wear a mask on the plane just to protect myself from the recycled particulates in the can tube. I think that is a good precaution, and I know that some airlines are screening people. But other than that, if Universal and Disney World are going to be open, I'm going to be, I have to go to Universal actually for a research project. Oh, such hard research. But
I will say Disneyland is closed.
Disneyland has closed.
Yeah,
yes,
but not the others. The others haven't closed yet.
But I assume Domino.
Oh, dude, it's only a matter of time.
Right.
So being really, there's you and me and a couple of other people that, come on here and post articles with us here and there, but not as much as me, of course, and, not as much reviewing as you do. But for one person to keep up with all these cancellations and postponements, it's out of this world.
It's insane.
I've been sitting at the computer literally more all day. I usually do it in the morning and do it frequently throughout the afternoon as things come through, but I haven't really had a breath. Once one thing comes out, I either find or get a press release about something else that has either been postponed or canceled. I started to think of making just one article that had everything, but I couldn't keep up with it. There's some I've missed. I just can't keep up with it. So I guess it's good that Live Nation, AEG, Creative Artist Agency, William Morris Endeavor, Paradigm, UTA, all have come together and issued a statement that they are postponing everything practically through the end of March.
Does that include Celine's tour? Because I just saw Celine over the weekend, and I don't know who the promoter is.
Actually,
it's West Coast Concerts. It was on my ticket.
Well, if
might
she's
be interesting to see.
If she is represented by any of the talent agencies, then yes, I would presume.
I have to say, I think when people say, especially as it's related to news events, when everybody was saying, oh, this whole Trump thing feels like we're living in a movie, this blah feels like this coronavirus. I'm loath to say this because I think it's over drama, but I really feel like I'm living in some sort of demented movie, some sort of science fiction.
It feels weird. It definitely feels weird. It feels like everything is being canceled. I am no longer going to Carrie's book tour in Los Angeles on Tuesday because that was canceled today. I was issued a refund. Little disappointing, but I expected it. Once this happened, it's like there's no way they're going to let a handful of people even get remotely close to her in a meet and greet or Q&A,
Yeah.
whatever. It's done.
As soon as we get off here, and this literally just hit me as we're recording this, I'm going to call my airline and see if they will honor the price I paid, because I paid a really good price for my flights to Florida, to see if they would actually honor it this weekend, and maybe I could leave tomorrow night and
you're
just go down and do
insane.
it before this closes, because I guarantee you, give it another 2 weeks, and the parks in Florida will close. So I'm going to see if they would honor it, and I'd even pay a little more towards it to get it moved, and then I'll just go tomorrow. I use kayak.com, and I just watch flights as a barometer of the economy. You could leave from the East Coast to go to Las Vegas, which, foreshadow, you could leave from the East Coast to go to Las Vegas for $122 as of this afternoon.
Wow.
Round trip.
That's unheard of.
Leaving tomorrow.
Wow. Next day flight.
Next day flight, $122.
Yeah, they're all trying to make up for it because the music industry isn't the only thing affected. You got the NBA canceling, MLB pushing everything back 2 weeks, NHL canceling. Think about all of these workers. I don't know how you feel about, Mark Cuban or anybody like that, but he came out and was like, think about all the hourly workers that are relying upon their jobs to get through, and now they're indefinitely not working. It's insane. So I can tell you, Disneyland said they're going to pay their people. Anyway, Mark said he's going to work on something to see how they can support their people, because it is about the people. It's not about the players. Who makes up the players' salary? It's the people that go and see them. So it's the people that work there too.
Yeah, and New York City, and this affects concerts as well. New York City has banned gatherings of more than 500 people, like concerts and Broadway plays. And Styx was supposed to come this weekend. Now, their press list was closed. Live Nation did tell me, but I was trying to go in to see Styx, because those of you that listen know that I try to go see a show once every weekend. Sometimes I like to fill out both my Fridays and Saturdays to see a show because I am crazy. So that means Styx is canceled. That means every single event, Riverdance. I almost went to cover Riverdance from a musical perspective, and Ronan Hardman's score. That's canceled. That's done. I didn't get a ticket into that, but had I not been able to go last night, and again, I didn't, but if my press ticket hypothetically would have been for any other day, I would have been screwed out of seeing it. So I can't imagine. It's just, and again, it makes no sense. It is more severe than the flu. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying, are we overreacting? Are we starting a chain that's going to go too far?
And that's my whole, this is ridiculous, it's a media hype thing that I was talking about. Not that this thing isn't serious, but it's causing this overreaction that everything is shutting down. Starbucks is even considering only drive-through right now.
This guy who hates, that's on my Facebook, that hates everything Trump does, nothing can be good because it's Donald Trump, even said, wow, this is hysteria. Like, stop being so scared, people.
I went to Costco yesterday. Like, let's get a few things. Toilet paper, nowhere to be found. Lines were ridiculously long. Went to Walmart. Toilet paper, nowhere to be found. Spent $30 on flushable wipes and wet baby wipes, because that's all that there was.
Look, I've had medical issues my entire life. You know about them probably pretty well. Our listeners don't. We don't need to get into it. But my sort of general life philosophy, oh, Matt, why did you fly down to Texas for a weekend? Oh, Matt, why are you going to Florida? You got to live. Why are you going to see concerts every weekend? You got to live your life.
Yeah.
You cannot let the fear of the unknown scare you out of doing things. They can scare you into being cautious. Like I said, I'm not against wearing a mask on an airplane. However, I'm going on the airplane. I'll get tested when I come back. I live with people who have compromised immune systems, and I need to keep them safe. I understand that. But if I start showing symptoms, I'll get tested, and we'll get them taken care of right away. But I'm not going to stop living my life because of this. It's just not going to happen. And it just makes living my life cheaper. That's all.
There you go. It's I don't know. I think it's just overhyped. It's not as big as they're making it to be. The World Health Organization stepping in, of course, is probably what's put everybody into a panic. And it's now this major pandemic that nobody can do anything. Companies are encouraging people to stay home, work from home. It's just
I have a
gotten
feeling
little out of hand.
my job is probably next week. Probably within the next week is going to say, go home.
Oh, I imagine.
One of the employees, I don't know how much I can divulge here, but I've not named the company and I'm not going to name the person.
Sure.
But one of the employees, they couldn't come into work today. They were sick. It was not an illness. Their symptoms were not in line with what coronavirus symptoms are. However, this person is not allowed back until they get tested. And I think every company should implement that because you never know how it's going to manifest and demonstrate and emerge, how the symptoms are going to be in each individual person. So,
I have a friend that just got back yesterday from a month-long tour in Europe.
oh wow.
Yeah. He says he feels great, feels fine. Little concerned, being in close quarters with him, but
How many stops in Italy?
I actually think they canceled the Italy stop while they were over there. But they
Good.
they did all throughout Europe. I mean, they're a known rock band over there, and that's not their first trek over there.
And he still works with you at the place you work?
Yeah. Well, he's back as of today, and didn't need to be tested. They said until unless he's showing signs of being sick.
See, I disagree with that. I think musicians especially who are touring, but anybody who tours, who travels, you should be swabbed on entry at customs or even at the gate at domestic places. Yeah, it would make it hell.
Yeah.
But it would if we had a system where swab, stick it in something, it lights up, go, swab, stick it in something, it alarms, go that way, don't breathe near me and go quarantine. I think everybody who travels should be tested. I'm willing, without symptom, to get tested when I come back from Florida. I have to go. I'm excited to go. And
Screw the pandemic.
but I want to be responsible.
Right. Well, I can say that some LA restaurants are requiring you to be tested before you walk in. If you have a fever, they're not letting you in.
Yeah.
But, fevers don't necessarily mean you have the March plague, as I'm going to start calling it. They're hoping this thing will die out after this month. But, when Live Nation released this statement earlier, it didn't really say it in their statement, but in an earlier article I reported, they're going to, as everybody else, they're going to assess it after March. And Live Nation is hoping to start the tours back up in May or June. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly 3 full months of no entertainment touring the world. That's a huge economic impact.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
And crazy. But, the I can't like I've said, there's just an unparalleled amount of people and acts that have postponed things. I've reported on most of those, or many of those I should say. But today alone, or I'll say in the last couple days alone, Kenny Chesney, Chris Stapleton, The Who, Pearl Jam, Dan and Shay, Sammy Hagar, Santana, Sons of Apollo, Zach Brown Band, Slipknot, Whitesnake. All these acts have postponed or canceled tours. Now, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, you know that going on,
Yep.
shutting down 11 days early. 11 days early. It's like a 3-week event. South by Southwest was canceled on Friday. Imagine that. That is such a big economic boom for Austin. They're not even sure if they'll even be able to recoup their costs or anything. They're not.
And some cynics
refunding.
are saying it was canceled so they could collect on the insurance money, which I think is just horrible.
I
You're
doubt that.
You're accusing them of insurance money in a time like this?
Yeah,
No.
that's bullshit. I don't think that's happening. I think the mayor, personally, I think the mayor jumped the gun and said, let's just cancel. And now they're out maybe $30 million. I don't remember how much, but they've had to lay off a portion of their staff already. And they don't know if they'll even be able to recoup for next year. This South by Southwest might be done as we have known it.
I think that is because, and this is stupid on their part, but again, you can't really fault them because who would think they didn't have infectious disease insurance.
Yeah, but like you said, who would think to do that?
Well, you should. You should have insurance that covers any act of God, and this surely is a freaking act of God.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean,
it's the Ultra Festival in Miami was canceled again. Probably didn't have these insurances. Coachella and Stagecoach have been pushed back to October.
and nobody will go because even in Southern California, October is cold.
Yeah, and it's the desert. I've been in the damn desert in March, and it's windy as hell, and it was out that way. So you're talking artists that so many logistics go into all of this. These things are prepped years in advance most of the time. They're probably already working on next year and the year after.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for the book in a year, maybe even 6 months, that's going to come out about all of this.
Or a movie.
In particular, I would love for somebody to write a book about the logistics of how the world stopped
Oh,
for 3 months in 2020.
Let's get started.
I mean, this is just nuts.
Well,
This is just nuts.
it is, and it's just like you said, it's been a domino effect. So you're familiar with the Tin Pan South Songwriters Festival in Nashville, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's been rescheduled, but that was also due to the tornado that hit Nashville last week. There's been no
Anything on
dates.
CMA Fest yet?
I'm about to get there. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, it's set for May 2nd. So we're talking a month and a half out. It's been indefinitely postponed. No new date as of this recording has been set. So you're talking a huge thing. It was supposed to air live for the first time on HBO that night.
Yeah.
So not sure what's going to happen. Now, like you asked me about CMA Fest. Well, let's jump to the ACM Awards coming up in April. Organizers are monitoring the situation closely, but as of now, it's set to continue on as scheduled. Same for CMA Fest. Now, that's a little later in June, a little early June, but it's a little later than the cancellations that are happening right now. So they're all organizing or they're all keeping a close eye on this outbreak. So as of now, ACM's CMA Fest are still going on. And another thing that I just got notice on, Garth is playing his first ever concert at Allegiant Stadium on August 22nd.
Yeah.
Tickets are still going on sale on Friday. They are
Tomorrow.
Yes, they are still going on sale on Friday. So
On Friday the 13th, it'll
Right.
probably be the 14th or 15th till you're hearing this.
But yes, tickets are scheduled to still go on sale. That's official. Someone else reached out to Garth's people and asked about the Cincinnati show in May. As of now, they haven't heard anything. So as of now, that show is still going on. Now, you're talking, God, it's just crazy. Dozens and dozens of these. The Sea to Sea Country to Country Festival in Europe postponed. Dan and Shay, I believe, had pulled out, but Old Dominion pulled out before that last week, stating they just weren't gonna risk it. Slipknot, they were scheduled to tour Asia, including Knotfest Japan. I believe it was this month, March, and they've canceled it. It's just there's just so much. Before South by Southwest was canceled, Ozzy Osbourne had canceled his appearance, and of course he's also canceled his No More Tours too due to health concerns. It's just these government people. Not to say that they shouldn't play it safe, but they're just canceling all these events. They're forcing it because they're
Well,
afraid
you're
of the
fucking
mass.
with people's lives. You're messing with people's lives, and
yes, but I still think part of it is a little bit of hype, because I've talked to doctors too, and they've said you're more likely to get the flu and die from the flu than you are to even catch this virus.
yeah, but there are reasoned approaches, right? So if you're going to be in public, if you're going to be in public, fine. That's fine. I'm in public every day. I take public transit. Haven't, knock on wood, got sick. I got sick last week. I had like an 18-hour bug that slowly came on while I was at work, but it wasn't corona. It was a fever and chills, and it went away immediately. Now, I didn't tell them. I mean, I told my boss, but now it really, within the last week, ramped up to where, had they even known about it, I may not have been allowed to come back until I was tested.
Exactly.
So
everybody's going to be flipping out over if you have a fever. So my daughter came home from school today with a fever. I didn't risk it.
Yeah.
I took her to the doctor. Spent $55 copay on her being fine. But you know what? I'd rather pay that than her end up being sick because I was afraid to take her, or I didn't freak out. I never do that. And I didn't freak out. I never just jump at, okay, we're going to the doctor. It's always, you'll be fine. And usually she is, because she's never sick. But with this going on, and obviously she's in that age where they can get it because kids aren't very sanitary mostly, I took her. And she's been up dancing. She was dancing before that, and I should have just canceled it. It was like, nope, you had a fever at one point. I don't want it to come back, so let's just go see what the doctor said. We were in and out within 15 minutes. Never been in and out of a doctor that quickly. They were dead over there.
Well, they're probably feeling it too, all the people going, oh my God, I had a fever yesterday, am I okay?
Yeah.
That's, and like I said, there's measured approaches. So me, I'm not a paranoid person at all, but I mean, airplanes are airplanes. They're tubes of recycled air.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably actually smart to wear a mask on an airplane at any given time.
Right.
So I'm happy to do that, but am I going to be walking around Universal with gloves and a face mask? No.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy myself.
But
to deal with getting sick later.
Yeah, right. But to kind of reiterate what I was saying, my thing for it, and as I'm about to say this, Billy Joel March 19th and April 10th concerts for Madison Square Garden have been pushed to September 26th and October 11th now.
I got that 2 minutes after
right.
De Blasio banned large gatherings.
Yeah. So now, what I'm trying to basically say, though, so you're looking at everybody canceling or postponing things because people can be sick. Who's to say people that don't regularly attend events aren't sick with the flu that you can also get? Or some other type of disease that no one knows about, and then suddenly that starts to spread. So that's where I'm saying that I think they're freaking out a little bit, because anybody can go to any event at any given time and have any type of virus, and perhaps they didn't know it, but it's not going to stop people from getting sick necessarily.
Right. Here's the thing, okay? I don't understand these. I mean, I do. I get that you want to prevent spread, but I don't know. You're not controlling movement in the way that these make it sound like you're controlling movement. Cause does not equal effect in this instance.
Right.
Okay, Billy Joel is canceled. 20,000 people are going to stay home. No. 20,000 people are going to go do something else. Some may stay home. Some may feel disheartened and get the hint that they're supposed to restrict their movement voluntarily.
Right.
Others are going to go do something else. They're going to go eat at a restaurant and contaminate utensils and silverware and plates and tableware, and they're going to contaminate other public spaces should they be sick. People, you can't, by canceling one thing, you're not telling them to stay home. You're telling them, well, you don't have to go home, but you can't go here.
Right.
So
I don't think it's really going to necessarily do what they're hoping it'll do. I mean, unless they have some ordinance where if you're caught out, unless it's an emergency, you're in trouble type thing. And I don't know that they can do that. But if they could, that's the only way you're going to get people. They're going to go do something. Okay, well, I got a night off, or now I'm going to use those tickets in September, so let's go do something else now. Let's go see a movie if the theaters are open. Hell, who knows at this point? I got a feeling, things are going to, other things, retail, things like that they're going to end up shutting it down. And it's funny because I'm getting emails from credit card and bank companies and stuff saying, we're here to help you. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. And I know what they're doing. They're sending emails so that way you don't have to worry about coming into their facilities and getting sick. They're going to have sanitizer.
Yeah.
Most places are doing that. If you know me well enough, I'm pretty sure you do, Matt, I'm kind of a germaphobe to an extent. I mean, I've typically shaken people's hands. Now, I've tried to get out of that mostly with just doing the fist bump. Damn right, that's what I'm going to be doing from here on out. 100%. Unless
I've
I know
had some
them.
people go, let's do elbows, which I think is just the weirdest looking thing. Just fist bump.
And
Let's do elbow. What are we, chicken? Elbow. Hello. I'm stupid. Anyway.
So, I mean, it's come to the point where if the whole world's just going to shut down from this, dude.
It's going to be freaky. Italy, the streets of Italy are ghost town. Ghost town.
Oh, I bet.
Look it up. Some people are urban exploring, I guess. Look it up.
Yeah, it's
freaky. I mean, I was
crazy.
at work today and... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's crazy.
Well, I was at work today and I work in media. I don't talk about the company I work for or whatever, just to avoid any potential viewings of conflict. But I work in media and I produce television. Now, and I'm sitting there, and I mean, it was just one after the other. I mean, Congress has shut down the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're still going to pay them. They're still going to get paid
through April.
Their stupid
through
salary.
April. Now, I don't want to get into the politics of it. I can't get into the politics of it. But it's that to me, on a pop culture level, you're shutting down government building, the biggest government building, the Capitol building.
Right.
That's insane and unprecedented. Or maybe there is precedent for it, but I mean, on this scale with everything shutting down, I can't believe it. So my advice, if you're going to see a concert, we got 60 seconds left here, is just be smart. If you're going to a smaller venue, be smart. Don't crowd people. Don't push up to the front of the stage in a general admission venue. Don't drink beer from an open cup. Just be smart. Just be smart. Keep your wits about you. Wash your hands when you use the bathroom more before you eat. And just have a good time and don't worry about it. Just do the right things and you'll stay healthy.
Because I've learned you don't want to go through life worrying about things you can't control. If you do, you're not living. And not to say I don't worry, because I worry a lot, but I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm doing something like, you know what? I can't control this is happening or that this is going to happen. Like, I can't control that an event I was going to attend on Tuesday was canceled because of this. It's a little disappointing, but I expected it when this started going through. When people
Here's
just
the
started
thing.
canceling, I knew it.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say is I think ticket sales, and it'll be interesting if there's any reports on this. Once this is over and Live Nation brings the tours back and New York lifts the ban of assembly over 500 people, I think ticket sales across entertainment, not just music, sporting events, because the hockey seasons were postponed and the MLB pushed stuff back, the NBA is postponed. I think entertainment across the board is going to see a gigantic uptick in sales because people will need the escapism. Because right now they're being told, no, be cautious, don't go anywhere, and confine yourselves, work and home. You need the escapism when it's over. You'll need the escapism when it's over, and I think we'll see a big uptick in sales.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. I can still tell you this Garth show is going to sell out, and it's not going to affect that. I'm sure. Now, from what I've heard, usually the flu viruses like that tend to die off when it gets warmer. So they're hoping by summer it's completely gone. But
Hoping, but it doesn't show any. It does not react to heat in the same way that the flu does.
Yeah.
So we just have to see.
Yeah,
And
because
so
I feel like this thing's just getting started.
I think it's just getting started, but I think it'll end as quickly as it began.
Yeah, I think by the end of the month, it'll be done, and everybody be like, oh well, we didn't need to cancel all this stuff. Be like, told you.
Well, we shall see, and we shall see if on another episode we'll be saying, music industry, we told you so. Anyway, all right, buddy. Signing off, I'm Matt Bailey.
And I'm Buddy Young. Thanks for listening
next time.
to the Music Universe podcast.